What's up? I don't know if I'm live now. I think I am live. I think I'm live. I don't know. But I don't know where you would see me at. I don't know what link to share yet. But I will get that straightened out. I keep looking up because I got a screen up here. And that's how I see what you see. So right now what I got on the screen. First of all, my name is David Fast Black Morris. And this is my first live TikTok, as you probably can tell. So I'm working on doing this and teaching my little course called the 0.5% framework is what I'm going to start with. But I'm also going to be showing different things. You see, I got my music studio. This is my beat maker right here. It's Fruity Loop Studio. So I'm going to be doing some things with that at some point. And I just started making a beat today, and I just wanted to kind of share that a little bit first before I get into the framework. But first, a little background about me. I am my name is David Fast Black Morris. Of course, Fast Black is my rap name. David Morris, my government name. I don't mind sharing that because I'm no longer doing criminal activities. But um, the reason why I want to share a little background is to show you where I came from and why I do what I do and how I came up with this framework and why I feel like I can share and help people in different walks of life. So uh, born in Chicago, Illinois, raised in Clovis, New Mexico. I left Chicago when I was about 5, so I don't remember much, but I do remember some things. I remember the winters. I remember riding my big wheel. I remember the house with the basement and the attic and, those types of things. But I grew up in Clovis, New Mexico. My mom raised me and 3 other kids. Didn't find out I had other brothers and sisters till later through my dad, but yeah, that was my upbringing. I'm just gonna summarize this because it's long. Um, Grew up in Clovis, got into some trouble, started young, was on probation, couldn't go to the military, and I'll get deeper into some of this. And that's what led my life to kind of go a different direction. But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I started rapping when I was like 12, and I got into shows and things like that. And as I got older, got close to being on something, but I stayed in trouble. I even was in. I couldn't believe I was in a studio with Snoop Dogg. So I did a song in one of his studios, and it was fun. And I had a friend named Goldie Curtis Spillman is his name, and he the one who introduced me and kind of put me on out there. But I stayed in trouble. Got into selling drugs, got into using drugs, and just went down a path that was not for me. And about 2024, I, because of a relationship that that broke apart, I went back to zero for about the 10th time in my life. And I was just fed up with just giving energy to things that weren't going to last. And so I just started on this mission. And that mission was to grow my business and to help other people grow and just to share my growth. And I've been doing that here and there, but I'm going to make this a like a weekly thing. But this right now is about the 0.5% framework. Um, that's what I'm doing today. So I've taken up about a quarter of the time I want to spend on this, probably half the time because it's not going to take long. But what I want to do is go through week 1 today and show you how I'm using this framework that I created to kind of guide my mission, guide my businesses that I want to grow because I have several different business models that I'm working on, and I do music, I do clothing, I do consulting and coaching. I'm an IT professional. I'm a maintenance professional. So I have a lot to share. I have stuff to share from you know the bad side. You know what I mean? I used to be in them streets, but I changed that, and so hold on. Um, I don't know why it's saying my live is restricted. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to appeal it and we'll see what's happening. But I'm going to try to get this straightened out where I can do more of these. Hopefully this is being recorded and I can um, share it on YouTube later. I'm sorry, I'm just looking up at my screen because I'm getting messages from TikTok. But we're going to keep going. Whatever it is, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep recording and make this happen. So what I'm doing right now is, let's see, let me see if I can get this off my screen. I don't know, I don't have anybody but on right now, but eventually I will, because I didn't let anybody know I was going to do this. I just went live. So if you're catching me, good for you. But let's see if I can't get this to work right, because I don't know what that is. But I'm going to see if how I get eligible for sharing. Let me see. Interacting with your viewers in real time. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'll get that straightened out eventually. I'll get that straightened out eventually. So I'm seeing stuff that you're not seeing. I dropped my phone. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start from here and play a little beat that I just made. This is a song I'm working on. I started the hook, but then the beat wasn't quite like I wanted it. So I'm going to, let me see, let me get this better. Okay, is that better? All right. All right, so we're going to get this better at some point. But right now, this is how we do it. I don't see anybody watching, but I don't care because I'm going to record it and put it out there anyway. So you can catch this recording of this. This is week 1. This is just a start. I'm just kind of messing around right now with this introduction, but my goal right now is to share what I've created and hopefully it helps someone to grow. So that's why I'm doing this. So here we go. Let me see. I could probably go to my Facebook page right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my, so where I'm at, well, first let me play this little beat. This was not structured, but check this out. Hope it sounds cool, but check it out. Move if you want to move, do what you gotta do if you have the tools. I'ma never ever lose, cause I make the rules, and everything that I do is a self-improvement. When you move if you wanna move, do what you gotta do if you have the tools. I'ma never ever lose, cause I make the rules, and everything that I do is a self-improvement. Man, better move if you wanna move, better do what you gotta do and make the moves. I'm just freestyling now, I'm just making rules. I don't care what it takes, cause I take the tool. And I do improving, never losing, I prove. But now let me stop. I don't got the hook yet, but I did just produce this beat. So let it ride for a second. Just let it ride for a second. Just let it ride for a second. Yeah, let 'em move. Then that hook come back in. You know, like this. Hey, let 'em move if you wanna move. Do what you gotta do if you got the tools. I'ma never ever lose, cause I make the rules. And everything that I do is a self-improvement. When you gotta do move if you wanna move. Do what you gotta do if you got the tools. I'ma never ever lose, cause I make the rules. Everything that I do is a self-improvement. When you gotta lose. Yeah, that's the type of stuff I'll be doing, you know, just messing around. But what I'm gonna do is close that out now. Let's close out the that's my studio right there. I'm gonna hide that and I'm gonna make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. Now that's what we're here to talk about right there. This right here. So this is my little presentation of the 0.5% framework. The 0.5% framework. So let me close this out on my other screen. Get it up. All right. Now, this is what it says here, a simple strategic method to defining and reaching the exact people you're meant to serve. So that is what week 1 is, the population precision. So the whole purpose of the 0.5% framework is it's a very special way of niche marketing, pretty much. So that's what it is. So what I did was I created like a 12-week course. It's actually a 24-week, no, 36. It's a 36-week to master, but 24-week to be a actual facilitator where you can teach this course. You can be licensed to teach this course or certified to teach this course. Of course, you'll be certified by my company, but you'll be certified to teach this course. It is trademarked. And it is something that really helps people to grow. I've showed this to a few people and they are actually doing some of the things, just trying them out as far as defining who they want to serve and who and how they want to approach them. I've had some people say, hey, this is worked out, and I'm going to get a few reviews for that. But me, I'm going to go through it myself. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use it for one of the business models that I have. So basically, the next time I'm on, I'm not going to have this background behind me, but I'll have like my whiteboard behind me, and you'll be able to see like how I got my businesses wrote on there and which one I'm going to start with. But I'm going to start with one called North American Bank Card. I call it some. I'm kind of come up with a name for my own branding for it, but I work for North American Bank Card as a rep. I don't work for them, but I'm a rep for them, and I'm pretty much my own business as far as card processing services. I could set you up with ATMs, get small business loans, offer small business loans if you're making, you fit a certain stipulations. You fit certain stipulations, and also can help with just all kind of stuff. What's up, Phil? Kay, I appreciate you joining. But what I'm doing right now is I'm teaching, going over my week 1 of something I created called the 0.5% framework. So yeah, it's just a strategy to help you to niche market in a special way. So I'm only going to do week 1. I'm going to be doing this week by week. But like I said, I'm going to apply it to a merchant processing service that I offer. And I'm going to, for this week, I'm going to define my population and come up with my 0.5% that I want to serve. All right. So as you can see, I made this with Gamma. I'm going to be putting my own branding on the presentations here soon, but this is where I'm starting, and I don't mind sharing that you can make a quick presentation with Gamma. They're not paying me to say that or anything like that, but you can do that. All right, so I'm just going to read through it. I'm not going to do a whole lot of explaining, but I am going to kind of clarify some of the meaning of some of the things if I feel like it's needed. But this is week 1 of the 0.5% framework. Check it out. And if you have any questions, anything like that, please feel free. This is live. And this is my first one doing live. But I will be doing this a lot better, a lot more organized by the time I get to week 12, I'm pretty sure. But right now, this is the 0.5% framework. And I'm going to go ahead and just post this on Facebook that I am live right now on TikTok doing my 0.5% framework. And this is just going to take just a second. All right, so we're going to be going over week 1 of the 0.5% framework. Just a second. I'm just going to say it real, make it quick. Live on TikTok right now, going over week 1 of the 0.5% framework. All right, so we about to get this started. This is great information. I guarantee it will help any business. I guarantee it'll help you grow your following, help you grow pretty much anything in the niche that you want to grow in. This is a way to do it. So here we go. I'm just going to post that, send a little picture. All right. And I don't even know. I mean, I'm not even on TikTok myself right now. Maybe I could see that I'm live, but let's see. Anyway, we're going over the 0.5% framework. Please share.
If you ain't never met the soft version of me, I've never met the safe version of you.
Hold on. This is.
When I tell you that thing just resonated something deep.
Man, people be all over TikTok, so I'm just trying to get to the page. All right, so here we go. So we're just going to start with the week 1 of the 0.5% framework. Thank you, Natasha, for joining. You're awesome. I just now getting started. I already did like a whole music presentation at the beginning just because this is my first one, and this is going to be new for me. This is my first week, so it's a little longer than it's actually going to be, but this is what I'm going to be doing weekly. And please share and let people know that I'm live right now, and I will be live, and this will be recorded, I believe, and I'll have it on YouTube. And if it doesn't get recorded, I'll figure it out and I'll have it there here soon. So here we go. So this is where I'm at. 0.5% framework. Week 1 is called population precision, a simple strategic method for defining and reaching the exact people you're meant to serve. And what I mean by meant to serve, I mean like we are in the customer service business all our lives. I believe that 100%. If you want to make money, period. That's just what I believe. No matter what you're doing, you're in the customer service business. You can hate people, but whatever job you're doing, even if you're the mechanic way in the back in the garage, making sure stuff is getting fixed and you don't even deal with people, you still are in the customer service business, because if that's not fixed right, it's going to come back to you, and I guarantee there's a customer behind it coming back to you. So this is what we're doing. This is how you're able to serve those people, those customers. All right? And this is why I created this. Why reaching everyone creates pressure, because I felt like I needed to reach everybody, but then I just thought, like, what do I need to do just to not have to be so out there, so loud with everything, always trying to reach everybody in the world? I just thought, like, what would I have to do? Like, how can I reach just enough people just to raise my income monthly, is what I thought of. So I was like, man, if I'm from Lubbock, I'm in Lubbock, Texas now, and I'm like, if I was to just, how much of Lubbock, Texas would it take for me to sell something for $1 and still raise my income by a certain amount that I wanted to raise? And I looked at it, and it came to about 0.5%. So I was like, man, let me look into that. So I just came up with this strategy and started creating this way that I can only have to target 0.5% of this population, and still be able to raise my income month over month over month. So this is what I came with. So why reaching everyone creates pressure. When you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one. Vague targeting leads to vague messaging, and vague messaging creates pressure, confusion, and wasted effort. You put all that effort into trying to reach all of TikTok, all of Facebook, all of your city, all of um, whatever, all of the world. But you don't have to do that. The problem is, which it says the problem, broad audiences. Let me see if I could kind of, yeah, see, so I can kind of just point to this. And I'm going to get better at this and have this more organized. But the problem is broad audiences dilute your message and multiply your workload. So you're trying to reach 10,000 people when you can just try to reach 50 people, and it'll take less effort, less money. But there's a way to do it, and we're going to be getting into that. The shift is a precise population sharpens your message and reduces your effort. What I just said. The result, clarity, creates confidence for you and for the people you serve. See, that's what this is about. About building. This is a relationship building tool right here. So you reach that clarity for you and the people you serve, right? All right, so here's the difference that I came up with, that I thought of, and this is not new stuff. This is just a way that I packaged it and said that I think I can explain this in a way for free to people who really could use this. And this is something I study daily, and I've studied, and I'm trying, and I'm using it in my own situations. Right? So, audience versus population. Okay, give me just a second. All right. So, audience versus population. These two words sound similar, but they mean very different things in practice. Right? So, audience is a large, undefined, passive. Think it's large and undefined and passive. Think entrepreneurs, parents, creators. That's hard to reach specifically, easy to feel invisible in. Because if I try to reach every single parent because I have, say, I want to sell pacifiers, and I want to reach every parent, that's going to be so hard to do. It's millions, billions of parents. You're not going to reach every parent at all, ever, probably, unless you get as big as, one of the Forbes 500s, which is possible. So, but very big long shot, right? So a population, though, is a specific, identifiable, reachable thing. Think first generation college students in their 30s transitioning to freelance. You can find them, you can speak directly to them. And this applies to anything, and I'm going to be helping people to define that. That's like one of the hardest things to do. That was one of the hardest things for me to do, I know for sure. So I had to come up with a way to do that for my merchant processing business. Because like I said, this is the first thing I'm applying this to. So I'm going to be going week over week and letting you know where I'm at with it, right? So here's what a population actually looks like, right? Real populations are specific enough to picture and specific enough to reach. For example, high school teachers in their first 3 years who feel overwhelmed by classroom management. If you're trying to create something that can help them with that specific thing, you can reach a smaller amount of people and be more productive, right? Another example, female founders in the Midwest building business to business software as a service companies with fewer than 10 employees. See, now you don't have to know what that means, but that is a specific niche of people, very specific. And another example, retired nurses over 60 who want to start a second career in health coaching. So I can help them with that because I know exactly what they want. And I can find them because I know exactly what they want and who they are. So this is going to show you how to go find these people, right? Right. So here's the population formula. This is if you can fill in this formula, then you can do this, right? If you can fill in this formula, you can follow this. So here's the formula. I serve blah blah blah. That's where you fill in that blank. Who are blah, blah, blah. So, for instance, I serve small business founders who are in early stage growth phase. That's the niche that I'm actually trying to reach with this plan right here. Who is an early stage growth phase, and I can reach them through LinkedIn meetups, and they have customer acquisition challenges. Yeah, that's supposed to come before that. So they're experiencing customer acquisition challenges, and I can reach them through LinkedIn. Now you see how I just broke that down specifically. Specific. Small business founder, and I can get more specific than that. I can say female small business founders, or male, or between the ages of 30 to 40, or whatever. So you got to get as specific as you can, and that makes it much easier for you to target them, right? So as you fill in each blank, it becomes more clear to you. Now, where populations gather, this is where you can find it. You can find it in your own communities. You can find it online. Your population already exists in specific places, right? Online and offline. The key is knowing where to look. So you have online communities, industry events, social media groups, newsletters and podcasts, professional networks, and local meetups. Now, this is something that these are just examples, right? Like in communities, you go to Facebook groups, Slack channels, professional associations. I'm giving you specific examples. That's why I say when I start to talk about this and teach this, I'm not going to be giving you hyped up, get you emotionally like, yeah, I can do this or whatever. I'm going to give you specific things, specific steps and systems that you can use. Look at this. I'm telling you, find that formula. Go into these communities, and here's where you can find these specific communities. You don't have to think that hard. I'm telling you, go to Facebook groups, go to the Slack channels, go to professional associations. You find them in your community. Events you can go to, find conferences, meetups, workshops, local gatherings. They're everywhere. You can go on Facebook and find these. You can find them in local directories that you have in your town or whatever. Podcasts, newsletters, forums, LinkedIn groups they follow. That's content that you can use to grow it, right? So, since we now know the formula, you have the formula to define who you want to serve specifically. Not the world, not the universe, not all of Facebook, not all of Lubbock. Specifically who I want to serve with this program, right? Or with this product. So, I appreciate you sharing, Natasha. Thank you so much for all the shares. That's really much appreciated. So estimating and calculating your 0.5% framework. This right here is how you're able to do this. It's just a math equation, right? You don't need millions of people. You need the right ones. So once you got that niche defined, now you can find how many are in whatever community or whatever group or whatever conference is going to be there, right? And how many you need to target. So for instance, you have 10,000 people who want to start their own online business. That's a well-defined group you can actually identify and reach. 10,000, right? Your 0.5% is 50 ideal clients that you can reach out. You only need one person from that 0.5% to start. So since you have 50 people to reach, guess how many messages you have to send out daily or weekly or whatever? 50. 50. You know how much easier that is than going in Facebook and saying, oh man, I need to reach 10,000 people who do this and do that. No, I need to reach these 50 people who are in this specific area. Period. Done. And you only got to reach one. You only got to talk to one. So start with one out of that 50 and work your way up. Now, this is why it works. Why small numbers work. Less noise. A focused population means a focused message. A focused message is cut through because they know you've been listening to them. I'm going to show you how to do that in chapter 2, I believe it's in chapter 2 where we're going over that. But I'll show you how to get in these communities and actually get them to want you to offer them something. because you're going to be listening and building trust with them. But anyway, why it works is because there's less noise, more trust. When people feel seen, they trust you faster. Specificity signals understanding. Specificity, which means being specific about how you can help, not just throwing broad things out there, signals understanding. And it fosters momentum. It's easier to build reputation and referrals within a defined group than across a broad market. This is something that I just decided to come up with because I'm like, how can I do this an easier way, man? There's too many people out there doing this, doing that, and making all these offers and doing all these things that you're just drowning in it. You're just mixed in the mix, caught up in the mix. So this is a way you can specifically target certain people and actually build something that's real and trustworthy and mainly ethical. That's my number one thing. I'm not a spammer. I'm not trying to force anybody to listen to me. This is for people who come to me and say, hey, I think you got something that I can use and I'll be able to help you. Right? And I will be doing, one-on-one coachings if you want it and things like that. You can schedule that on my website, but don't worry about what it says as far as any pricing or whatever. We're just building these things out. So this is just something that I want to share with people for right now. All right, so right now, what we're going to do, we're going to go over some reflection questions, right? If anybody have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat if you want. But this is what I would like everybody to do, because that's just the juice. That's already the juice right there. Excuse me. That's You can take this right now and get started and probably already start reaching people and start building something that's going to eventually start bringing you income just from what I've went over already. But here's the first question. Here's the first thing to reflect on. Who do I naturally understand? Think about whose challenges you can explain better than most people can. Right? So, people like you, for instance, what do you feel like you might need that you can share with someone else and, um, you know, and help them, right? Something that you might need that you can share with someone else or build for yourself that you may be able to share with someone else. And then you have a group right there. Number two, where have I already helped someone? There you go. Past wins, even small ones, point toward your natural population, right? And then number three, who do I enjoy working with the most? That makes it easier. Energy and affinity are valid data points. Don't ignore them. That's people you are close to, people you like working with. Don't count them out. Listen to them. Look at what they're asking for, what they're needing, what they're complaining about. This is one way to define that population you want, because you have to know who you want before you go even put it in that formula. You got to find out what you want to sell or what you want to make money on, or how this could be about living life, how you want to live your life as well. It's not always about selling. This is about building relationships. What population do you want to be a part of? Period. Um, and I'm going to be going over a lot of that over the weeks. All right, so here's an exercise you can try if you want. This is a week one exercise. I'm going to do it myself, and I will show you how I can do it. So this is week one exercise and an assignment. And I would love for people to, send me a message on TikTok, DM me in my Facebook. It's David Morris, or themoresolutions.com. Send me a message on there and say, hey, I did these things. If you want to go over them, because I'm telling you, this is something that will help in week two, and the rest of the weeks just get better and better. All right, so this week's practice: write your population formula sentence, 3 versions, then choose the strongest. So write 3 versions of your population sentence. So your population sentence is that right there, the formula right here that I went over earlier. I serve. So me, I'm sticking with what it says there. This is why I created it this way. I serve small business founders, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm just going to be specific just to be specific. And this can work for anybody, but I'm going to be this specific. I serve small business founders, small, how am I going to say, African American small business founders who are starting their online business and want to know how they can target a specific niche, specific people, how to make it easier to target. That's my sentence right there. So I'm going to write that in 3 different ways, right? And next week, I'm going to have a document on here showing that I actually did that and I defined my target. 'Cause that's all you got to do this first week, right? That's one thing. Second, list 3 places your populations gather online or offline. So mine is going to be Facebook, mine is going to be TikTok, and mine is going to be somewhere in Lubbock that I'm going to find. I'm going to find a population here of people who are online, who wants to start an online business, and maybe I could set up a nice, Natasha. Yes, wellness and nutrition. There you go. So we're going to put that in a formula, right? That's what we want to do. So by next week when I'm doing this, next Sunday probably, I'm probably around the same time. I'm going to try to keep it, the same time. I'm going to be doing week 2, but we're going to come with this assignment next week. So I'm going to have those 3. Estimate your population size and calculate your 0.5%. See, I'm going to have that. Next week when I come back, I'm going to have my 0.5% that I found in these 3 places where they gather, right? And then I'm going to share my formula with someone and get some feedback. That's what I want you to do. All right, so here's week 1 assignment. Submit your population formula in this format. I serve who are in blank, experiencing blank challenge, and I can reach them through blank channel, right? So I serve who are in the context, experiencing challenge, and I reach them through this channel. So take this, like I said, I'm going to put this on YouTube. It's going to be The More Solutions. At The More Solutions, I believe that's THEMOR Solutions. Everything is at The More Solutions. All my social media, you can reach me on any of it, Instagram, Facebook. But I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'm gonna post it in Facebook. If you were live, you can interact, and I want to see what you come up with, because I promise you, I've used some of this. And it's helped me find people and build relationships. And this is just week 1. I've already given you a lot to go on for week 1. And I mean, this is quite a bit. And I'm already over by like 8 minutes on how long I'm supposed to have been live. But I just want to reiterate, like, this is a lot you can go by. It shows you a lot already. How to define an audience, population over audience. What it looks like. The formula to use. Just do that formula and it will clear up so much for you. And we'll talk about it again on week 1. On week 2, right? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do a little exit. But like I said, I made this little beat. So I'm going to go back into my little studio right here. Bring that on the screen, right? And check this out. Now, actually, I'm going to play the song that I actually started recording on it. Let's see if it's still here. I might have closed it out. But if I still got that here, I'm going to play a little bit of this real quick. Check it out. Just listen real quick. Just listen. I'm going to just play the hook real quick. See if it's going to play. It don't look like it want to play right now. It's been sitting. Hey, move if you wanna move. Do what you gotta do if you got the tools. I'ma never ever lose, cause I make the rules. Everything that I do is a self-improvement. What you got to lose, move if you wanna move. Do what you gotta do if you got the tools. I'ma if you wanna move. Do what you gotta do if you making moves. Yeah, I ain't finished it yet, but that's something I've been working on. But yeah, this is David Fastback Morris. I was just talking about the 0.5% framework. That was lesson 1, week 1. Take this week. That's why you get a whole week to do it. Because think about it. Really think about who you want to serve as far as your customer service. Because we all live in customer service. Thank you, Natasha. I appreciate it. Be on for next week. We're going to be going over the next lesson. But yeah, just really take this week, think about what population you want to serve. And like I said, you don't even got to have a business. You are in the customer service business. You are. Your life is the customer service business. I'm sorry to say, you can be like, I hate people, I don't want to be around people, but everything you do is going to involve people, unfortunately. And you're going to have to make sure that if you want to make something out of this world, you're giving somebody what they want and what they need and helping somebody with something in some way. Period. So this will help you to do that. And I appreciate you signing on. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thanks. I don't even know how to go off of live yet. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. What they say? What people say? Peace out, y'all. I don't know how to stop the live right now. Am I still live? There we go. I'm out.